Hey, this is Bruja, and we have a very special guest today. We have Garry Campbell from the band Rust. Say hello, Garry.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Great, great. Thank you so much for joining me on this interview. It's like got a whole bunch of people around the world that don't have anything going on, so I thought this would be a great way to introduce some of the bands that I've been playing on my show for a bit.
Yeah, good. We've got nothing going either, so it's great to be doing it.
Yeah. So there are some people that haven't that aren't too familiar with your band. So if you can tell me a little bit about your band, like how long you guys have been together.
Yep. And Rust, we formed in about midway through 2005. So we've been going about 15 years. Yeah. We've the three of us, the bass player Ferns and Smurf and myself, we're still original members. We've had a few lineup changes with the guitarists over the years. Generally they last about 5 years. We've got a new guy at the moment, Jake, who's he's done a couple of shows with us. And recently we just supported Stiff Little Fingers. We've done a few small shows, and we were to support Exploited, but they ended up getting caught in New Zealand and couldn't make it to Australia and got sent home. So that was a bit disappointing, but you will get there.
Yeah, I heard about that. So that's so sorry to hear about that. You guys have also played Rebellion too, right?
Yeah, we're now what you call veterans of Rebellion. I think we've done it 6 times.
Oh, really? Wow, I had no idea that many times. That's awesome.
Yeah. No, usually it's every second year we can get over there. The last time there was 3 years between visits, but the last one was definitely the best one.
Oh, nice.
But yeah.
Yeah, and have you guys have played the States before, have you?
Yeah, we did. I think it was 12 shows back in 2013. Yeah, which was really great. It's just we'd love to get back. It's just you know, finances, all that stuff that goes with it. You know, yeah.
It's not easy. It's not easy. So
No.
So
you dropped out then.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So prior to Rust, were any of you guys in any previous bands, or this is all your first go?
Yeah, no, we're all yeah. I was in bands in the 80s, and the same as the drummer. They've all been in plenty of bands actually over the years. You know, various oi stuff, hardcore bands. You know, bit of flirtation with a bit of ska. You know, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Probably the drummer, myself, and the bass player. We've known each other for over 30 years.
Oh wow!
But this is yeah. But, you know, so we're sort of stuck together. You know, we're sort of the solid foundation of Rust, the three of us. We're all in different bands, all sort of playing with each other's bands. You know, supporting each other and that, and just circumstance led us to get together. You know, we're all. I'd been sacked from the last band, and you know, Smurf the drummer, his band Crankcase, they were sort of hardcore band. Yeah, they sort of folded, and Ferns was in the bass player. He was in another band called Bunt and Nude Sunday, which was a pretty good name, and also the Teenage Hookers for Christ, which was a pretty good name as well, I think.
Yeah, that's a great name.
Yeah. I was in a band called Crucified Venus and another one called Rule 303.
Nice.
Yeah. So there's plenty of history, lots of history. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have a very good history, and you guys have a great sound. I remember the first time I got turned on to you guys. Let's say it was probably about 4 years ago.
Okay.
4 years ago, and it's just like, it was, I thought you guys were great, and it's just like I had to learn more, and then I get this radio show, and it's just like, oh God, this is a great way to play you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Oh,
guys.
good. Nice. Nice.
So, how are you guys doing over there in Australia, considering what's going on around the world?
Yeah, I'm lucky. I'm a groundsman gardener sort of thing. So I look after 9 acres and I work outside. So for me at the moment, I'm doing okay. But it's getting closer and closer to that lockdown. I was just downtown before. I had to go to the bank and all the shops are shut and there's only, a handful of people around and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, nothing like you guys are going through at the moment. But yeah, we're a bit behind. It's all a bit freaky, We've just sort of got over all the bushfires and stuff as well, And there's been cyclones and all kinds of stuff this late last year and this year. So it's just another thing, But I've never lived through anything like this before, There's a lot of precautions at work and stuff, and all that distancing and yeah, plenty of stuff going on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure because of I don't know if you live near where the fires were, but I'm sure a lot of people have masks already because of the fires.
Yeah, that's right. The smoke, it would just sit for days. The amount of smoke was incredible until you got a decent wind to take it away. Working outside, I had to wear a mask, and your eyes got irritated and that, even with sunnies on, from particles in the air and stuff. So it wasn't very enjoyable,
I can imagine.
Our guitarist, the guy that's just left, Bevan, he left because he had to move. He moved from Sydney to Western Australia, but he had a house down the south coast, and that burnt to the ground. He lost the house. Yeah. So
that's horrible. That's really bad to hear. And I mean, I guess on a good note, it's like everybody down there, if you have your masks, don't get rid of them. Hang on to them. It's probably going to get to that point. It's going to get to that point, But are people like they were here before we got put on lockdown? Are people hoarding stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been ridiculous. Toilet paper first one, the massive, no one could really understand why the toilet paper went out, soap, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I know. And it's like, first I thought it was like an American thing, but now speaking to you, and then, a week ago I spoke to the Svetlanas, and they're in Italy, and they too, I just don't understand why people are stocking up on toilet paper.
Yeah, no, me either. Maybe if you dip it in egg and then you can fry it, and eat it. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows?
I'm sure you can.
I don't know. There's food for thought, right?
Yeah, desperate times for desperate measures.
Yeah, I've eaten worse.
Yeah. Same here.
Jeez, I've eaten some shit on tour.
So what countries have you toured at over the years?
Well, we've gone to New Zealand, obviously. We've been over there 3 times.
Yeah.
And then the States that once. And then we've been to England 6 or 7 times. And then through Europe, we've done Germany, Czech Republic, Holland, Belgium. All through the UK, Scotland and Ireland and that as well, We actually haven't played in Ireland. We had a couple of days off and went up there for a look,
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Are there any countries that you haven't been that you'd like to go to?
Look, I'd like to get over, into Canada and different places like that. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but what is it? The former Yugoslavia, over in there as well,
Yeah.
yeah, Hungary, all those kind of, Italy, not right now though.
Yeah,
So
no, I don't
we
think.
had we had a few people sort of hitting us up in Italy and going, "Well, you want to come over?" And we sort of said, "Yeah," and that just didn't happen. Sometimes you get a line and you go with it for a while, and then it just doesn't come off,
Yeah,
And I don't really know how well known we would be, over there. It's not. I mean, it's not about being well known, but you certainly want people at the shows, and promoters want people at the shows. So, yeah,
yeah,
uh,
exactly.
yeah.
I
So,
always,
like, we're willing to play anywhere. We love it. We love the adventure of it.
right,
Yeah.
right.
I mean, the small, sweaty little underground places, they're the best, I reckon, just the atmosphere with it. You got 30
Yeah,
people in a tiny little place underground and it's just going off. That's where it's at. On the floor. One place, I think it was called Music Centre or something in Belgium. It was like
uh-huh.
sound studios and I think people live there. I wouldn't say it was a squat or anything, but yeah, that was mental, In New Zealand, they had one place we played at. That was definitely a squat, and they had like mattresses wrapped around the RSJ beams that were holding up the roof. So when everyone was slam dancing and that, like you didn't hurt yourself. And that place was probably the craziest show that we ever played. There was a guy there that actually broke his leg and stayed. Yeah. Yeah, he was in heaps of pain, but he goes, "No, I'm staying." He had a great time. So I'm like, your leg doesn't look too good, man. No, that's not good. You got to do something about that.
Yeah, I believe that there's a all ages music venue that used to exist in Southern California because that's where I grew up in, and yeah, that place had some stories and like kids, they'd look god awful whatever the injury they had, and they'd just be like, I want to go back out there. It's like, no,
Yeah,
you really shouldn't.
No, that's living in the moment. Huh?
Yeah, it's the adrenaline.
It hurts now. At my age, doing stuff when you were 20, it doesn't. You pay for it now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's a lot of it.
It's a good idea at the time.
Yeah, because it doesn't hurt.
That's right. Right?
Yeah.
It hurts a lot more than the next morning now.
Yeah. Any you guys were supposed to play with the Exploited. Are they canceling shows out there in Australia, or are you guys still having shows, or is it like
There's nothing.
nothing?
Everything shut down.
Yeah.
And they're enforcing you can't meet in more than 2 people on the street.
Oh, okay. So that's
a
bit stricter than here.
Yeah, and I haven't seen it around here, but in the city, I'm about 40 minutes drive. I'm north of Sydney. Like I'm in a suburb of Sydney. To drive to the city, it's about 40 minutes. And apparently the army were knocking on doors in the city and that, and making people, making sure that people are at home and asking questions and that. It's starting to get pretty heavy.
That's here in the States, people would probably talk a lot of shit about that going on. Like, you're taking away our freedom and blah, blah, blah. But, I was not reading, I was like watching something on the news, and, China did go out of control, but how they managed to contain it is they put people on lockdown, but they also had like the military doing that same thing, checking on people to make sure that people aren't having parties like they are here.
Yeah.
We have some idiots over here that they're still having parties, still, they'll stay at home, but they'll go to each other's friend's house. And it's like, no, that's not how it
is. No, it's not.
No.
It's all good and well to be, we're going to have an underground party and that, but, in a month's time when you're all dead, like we can't see this thing. It's serious, it's, I don't fully understand it, but I'm towing the line to the best of my ability at the moment for my family and friends and that, just keeping that distance.
that's that's very smart, actually, and that's actually how it should be done. It's like just between talking to the Svetlanas who live in Italy, they're where they are actually live is ground zero in Italy, like the worst.
Yeah.
The worst
Wow.
it is. And between that, it's like I wouldn't want anywhere else where you're at, where I'm at, any other country.
Yeah.
It's like I feel really bad for Italy, but like anywhere else, it just don't want to see that happening. And it's just like people
No.
do what they're told.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I don't know if you've seen our news the other week. Bondi Beach was just packed, and now Bondi has the biggest outbreak in the country.
Yeah. Yep.
And it went. There was a woman filming it, going, "This is ridiculous. Like we've just been told this, and everyone had packed down to the beach,
Mm-hmm.
and there was no distancing whatsoever." And now it's 2 weeks later, it's come out, and it's spreading through Bondi like wildfire.
Yeah.
In a straight line from Bondi, as the crow flies, I'm probably, I don't know, like say 20 k's, 30 k's away. So it's I'm only straight down the coast from there.
Yeah.
So it's really scary stuff.
Yeah, it is. It's just like, I don't know if part of it is, I think it's, for a while I was debating, like when I'm doing these interviews, whether to talk about it or not. But you know what? I think this is good that we're talking about it. Everybody's talking about it, because it's like here in the US, I'm talking to someone in Australia. You have the same concerns and worries that we have here. And it's just like, you know what? It's everywhere, all over the world. It's like, no matter what we talk, like, it's good that we're talking about it. And I think it probably sure is, makes me feel better, and I'm sure it's making you feel better. It's like other people can relate, oh yeah, I guess I'm not being freak, about this. But you guys were you guys working on a new album right now?
No, as I said just before, we recently lost our guitarist because he moved away. So we've really been in damage control, just cutting in the new guy, because we had some decent shows. We'd sort of gone to ground and we're doing a lot of rehearsals and stuff. So there really is no new song. Well, I think there's about 5, but they're not with the new guy. They were written with the old guy,
right?
Bevan. So there's sort of I've put vocals on them and that, and guitar, that's all. So they haven't come to light with the band as such. So no, the last album we put out was A Decade of Corrosion, and that's probably about 2 years.
Yeah.
So we started playing that when we were 10 years, but it took, by the time we were, what is it, about 13 years old as a band before it came out. We put a DVD with it and a bit of history and that sort of stuff, like a nice little, So I'm certainly really proud of that album. It's a great album, and a lot of people who have been with us, the whole time have gone, "Wow, guys, you really, really, went up another level with that album." So but look, being locked down, who knows what'll come out? Like people get bored and riffs come, and this will be the great virus album of 2020. Like all these songs about viruses will come out. And there's heaps of shit coming out. We'll be all sick of it by the time.
I was going to ask. Between the virus and the fires, is that inspiring you to write in any way?
Well, the fires were probably the worst that I can remember. I mean, I've seen some over the years, and I'd already written a song, and it is on the last album called Firestorm. So it was really relevant, this year. But I've penned together a bit of a virusy song. I think everyone's doing the same thing, though. you got other topics that I'd prefer to work on, but yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's part of like the punk scene, more so the punk scene. It's like writing about it. Like a virus is a perfect subject matter for punk scene,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, you can get pretty down and dirty with some lyrics to do with a virus.
Yeah. I haven't done a playlist, but I've been seeing people doing, virus type playlists, and it's, songs that are related or something like that. It's like, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
After a while you think, oh yeah, I forgot they did that song, stuff like that. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Getting creative.
Yeah.
So
the X-rays, germ-free adolescence.
Yeah. Right.
That stuff.
I think I played that as my background music when I was doing one. Yeah, I did. This last week I did. That was my background music for my show when I was doing my bits.
Yeah. You guys are the Virus is American band too, aren't they?
Meet the Virus. There is a band. Yeah, Meet the Virus.
Yeah.
Yeah, or they also go by the Virus. Yeah, that's an American band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They might be getting a lot of hits on YouTube at the moment.
Possibly. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Nice guys. They're nice guys. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried to interview Mike Virus a while back, but just at the time my schedule was just too crazy. I should hit him up because he's done some good things. Like he's put some compilations. He was putting some compilations out for a while that were like benefiting certain causes, like in was it Indonesia, when those punks had their heads shaved and they're stripped naked and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's what inspired him. His first compilation, it was Ase Calling, and it was a shit ton of really awesome bands around the world that donated a song, and the proceeds went to to help those kids.
Yeah.
Which is
cool. Right. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what bands are you listening to right now? What are you into right now, music wise?
I sort of bring home a whole bunch of stuff when I'm on tour and that. I trade and do that sort of thing,
Yeah.
Yeah, I find interesting stuff too, but I never, like ska stuff and that, like from Scotland and things, and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, but at the moment I'm just sort of, because I've got a bit more time on my hand, I'm just walking over and grabbing hold of anything. At the moment, it's like a lucky dip over there, and what have I had on recently? What have I had on? I've got a Why March When You Can Riot, which is an Aussie comp.
Okay.
Of a lot of older bands, you've probably heard of the Hard-Ons. They're sort of on it, and a few others, a lot of others actually, but they're probably the only one that you might know. But yeah, UK Subs yesterday, and The Last Resort the day before. I kind of only play 1 or 2 albums a day, like when I get home from work.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Are you vinyl or CD collector?
I'm CD now. I've got all my old vinyl, but I really stopped years ago with the vinyl. Yeah, I had a tantrum when it came to the turntable as well, and that sort of doesn't live anymore. But I kept it all, and I've added little bits and pieces to it. But yeah, I'm a CD man now.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see back there, but that's only a little fraction of the vinyl that we've got going on back there. So I'm a vinyl.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah. Yeah, cool.
There's like
I still need a cover. I need to open up a cover, a physical thing, and look at it. I love the artwork and the band pictures and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I've always been that way. I actually struggled when, I was when it was changing from vinyl to CD. My first CD was Master of Puppets by Metallica. That was the first CD, and they were really, And I was like, I'm not going there. I like my vinyl, but I ended up you couldn't get anything on vinyl for a while, and I was actually forced, to go into the CDs, and then you get a bit lazy, you get 14 CD, songs on a CD or whatever, and you don't have to get up. But I still have that. I still like the crackle and the warmth of vinyl when I get around to playing it, Yeah.
There's nothing like that. I know it's like, because we do our show is pre-recorded, so it's like much easier for me to do a digital version than convert one of my vinyl to digital, which I don't know, maybe one of these days I will do an all vinyl set for my show, but it's like I get, a lot of my stuff I do get on Bandcamp. I try to get digital things, but eventually if I can, I'll buy it on vinyl regardless, but I prefer the vinyl for that very same reason of like looking at the artwork, because it's a piece of art, not just music, but the label, reading all the credits and stuff like that. I don't know, it's like a comic book.
It is it's good.
No. What was the first record that you bought as a kid?
Oh, wow. Maybe Destroyer by Kiss.
Oh, okay, cool.
Something like that, yeah. I bought a lot of 45s.
Yeah.
It was the top 40 on a Sunday.
Okay.
And like UK Squeeze, Cool for Cats, and Get the Knack, My Sharona, and what else? I was right into all that sort of stuff. What was his name? John Stewart.
Oh,
John Stewart. Yeah, remember all that. That was the sort of, I was in primary school listening to that, and even Grease had just come out, so it was all that sort of stuff, and that sort of changed overnight once I heard the Sex Pistols.
Oh yeah.
And I was listening to Aussie rock because of my mates' older brothers, like a lot of Aussie rock, heavier stuff, but listen to the top 40. And what happened, right, my mum, she used to pack shelves in a supermarket at night. And we're talking, I would have been 1978. I was still in primary school. And she said, "Oh, I've got this punk guy at work," and I didn't even really know what a punk was. His name's Martin. He's got spiky hair, and he said, "If you like," because I was listening to an Australian band called the Angels. I think when they toured America, they were called Angel City. Anyway, he said, "If you like the Angels, you'll like." He said you'd like this tape, and it had the Sex Pistols on one side, never mind the bollocks, and it had Devo, Are We Not Men on the other side. Nice. So my mum was to blame, and I think that was the worst thing she'd ever done, was bring that tape home, and it just got played over and over. And we had an old record shop. Our old lady ran it down the road, and they had the Pistols in there, and I was a paper boy, and I worked in a butcher shop on a Saturday morning, and I spent all my money in this record shop, and I remember buying the Pistols album, and she said, "Does your mother know you're buying this?" And I said, "Yeah, my mum brought the tape home." And I remember when Dead Kennedys Too Drunk to Fuck came out, and they had stickers all over the fuck in the record shop, and we were going in our school uniform and peeling back the sticker because we wanted to see the word on a record cover. Like, it was such a big, and we got busted for doing it, yeah. So yeah, and I also we had to drive probably 10 minutes down the road to go to a video store to hire a video. There was only one around at the time, and there was a guy, and I'd walked in there, and at the same record shop, I'd bought a Dead Kennedys t-shirt, and there was a guy in there, and he was Irish, and he said to me, "Oh, do you like punk?" And I went, "Oh, yeah, I didn't really even know what it was. I was listening to these bands, but I really didn't know they were called punk. And he gave me Inflammable Material. And he was an Irish guy, and he said, I don't like it. He goes, I was into punk, but it's changed. And he gave me this album. I've still got it today, Stiff Little Fingers.
Oh, no.
And that was 1980. Yeah, it was my first year of high school, and he gave me that album. So that, the Sex Pistols and Inflammable Material, they were life changers. And not long after that, the first Specials album.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, so I was really lucky at that time. That stuff was going through my school as well, you know, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's my era. I grew up in Southern California, so I was around for the LA punk scene in the early, mid, or pretty much throughout all of the 80s. So like Kennedys, I got to see them play, you know, a few times, but a lot of those bands I got to see them. Didn't get to see the Sex Pistols, but but I saw the Clash. So
yeah, well, the Clash came out here, I think 82, but I wasn't allowed to go. And I saw the Pistols in 96 on a Filthy Lucre tour out here.
Yeah, but, I saw them later in life, like in the 90s. But
yeah. But the Dead Kennedys, they played my hometown in, I think it was 82. And the pub, I live next door to the pub that they played at. The pub's now gone, but we were over the beach drinking underage. There was I'm quite short, so there's no way I was, when I was 15 or 16, I looked 12, you know. But some of my mates got in, and a local band that played at all our parties and stuff called World War 24, they got to support them. And that like that night, people still talk about the Dead Kennedys playing at Narrabeen, you know?
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. You still have those records?
Yeah, absolutely.
You still have those? Awesome.
That's cool. No, they weren't going anywhere. No way. No way.
Yeah. Like, so are there any newer bands that you like? Bands that are, I don't even know what generation this would be, but like any current bands that are the youngins that you like?
Youngins. There's local boys called Sean Oakley and the Boys.
Okay.
And another called Disclaimer.
I'm sorry.
They're pretty good. Like Disclaimer.
Okay.
Yeah. There's kind of like a surge out here at the moment with, you know, like the 90s was pretty terrible, you know, Like we sort of battled through it, but there was people, like kids would turn up who, you know, and they'd never seen a live band before because of the rave thing, you know, and now it's changed, and there's a whole bunch of kids now who probably picked up stuff from listening to their dad playing their music. And actually, that's the fact. Their dads come to the shows, and these kids have formed bands, and they're good. Like, and they'll throw in, you know, they'll throw in some sort of, you know, cover that you wouldn't expect them, some MC5 cover, or, you know, something that you wouldn't expect these kids to know, and they do it really well, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's heaps of them, you know. But another one's called Coffin. I think they toured the States, actually, like a lot of shows. Yeah, and they're local too, Coffin. They're really, really energetic stuff, and, you know, crazy 20-something-year-olds, you know, like really out there, sort of stage presence and that, you know. Bit of nudity and all sorts of stuff, you know, but, yeah.
Doing things that we can't do anymore.
Yeah. It's not a good look.
Can't do those stage dives anymore.
No, not when you got grandkids.
No. Have you heard of a band called Grade 2?
Grade 2.
They're from England.
I've heard of them. Yeah, yeah.
They're really young guys. I think they're legal now, but like when I first got turned on to them, they were really, really young. They're still teenagers. I still think of them that way, but they're actually a very good band for being a bunch of really young guys. It's like, I mean, there are so many good newer bands on there, but for as young as they started, and we're making an album. I think they have 3 albums out, maybe 4, but
Yeah.
but as young as they are, it's like, wow, this is refreshing. The torch is continuing to be carried on.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. It's if the kids weren't coming up, I don't know about you, but a lot of my friends have dropped off it.
Yeah.
Just through life circumstances.
Yep.
Actually, they've probably gone through that and they're coming back now.
Yeah.
There's people end up getting divorced and start going to shows again, or their kids are old enough to leave at home, so coming back to shows. But these kids are, they're like the lifeblood. They're sort of like, we like playing with them because all their friends pack into cars and get to the shows, and like we did, go to any length to get to a show. It was pissing down rain, sideward rain, or whatever. They'll turn up dressed, just to have a good time. Where we could go, I don't know about going out tonight, so when we play with these guys, it's always really exciting, and they go, oh wow, you guys aren't bad for old guys, so it's pretty good. Another band is called the Darren.
Okay.
The Darrens, they're very good as well. Yeah, and these are all just local around my area, sort of,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what band is your guilty pleasure?
Motorhead.
Motorhead? That can't be a guilty pleasure. Motorhead's awesome.
Absolutely.
It's like everybody has like that one band or that one song that is annoying, but you like it.
Oh, is that what you mean? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant something you play all the time. Let's go with Dolly Parton, Jolene. Oh
yeah, that's an awesome song though. I love Dolly Parton.
It is, but I say that to people and they get a good laugh out. I go, yeah. I was caught driving singing it one day by some people I knew. I'm like, Jolene with the window down. And
nice.
Yeah, I'm a secret 70s disco tragic. I don't really have any of it, but when it comes on, I know every word. That was the stuff we were doing at disco, at school. So before the punk thing, so it's pretty catchy. I mean, everyone will write off ABBA, but really, SOS, they write the perfect song. You punk up ABBA songs and turn them into, it's not really an option for us all, my cred.
Yeah. Yeah, they're kind of a guilty pleasure. And it's like, I'll fully admit, I saw that documentary. There was like a documentary on Netflix or something. I saw it.
Yeah.
I was into it.
Yeah, of course. Huh?
Yeah.
No one admits to it.
But I can't get into that Mamma Mia stuff, that play. I don't know if you've heard of it, but there's a play called Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
That's
I wouldn't go any.
I like the songs, but no.
Yeah, no, I certainly wouldn't go to anything like that.
Yeah. So, are you guys working on doing any touring once all this is over, or are you just kind of like at a standstill? Because I know a lot of. I'm sorry?
Yeah, look, at the moment, we're at an absolute standstill. We were going great guns. It was like the new year with the new guitarist, and so much work was coming our way, and we've lost a lot of shows.
Yeah.
a lot of shows, and we were kind of doing the, let's just, nick down there and have band practice and all that, and we've just had to stop it. The band rooms have closed down because it's illegal.
Yeah.
We cannot get together. I mean, I could drive up to the guitarist house or do something like that, but at this stage, it's just completely ceased.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Like some promoters are working on things, I think 3-4 months out, but there's others that are just, you know what, let's just hold off and see what's going on. Like, actually, there's one show I have tickets for. It's for the end of May, and it's guys from your neck of the woods, Rose Tattoo. They're supposed to be touring out here, and I have tickets to see them in Los Angeles, and I'm surprised they haven't announced that it's being postponed or canceled.
They got pulled up in Europe. They've had to stop their Europe tour. I've noticed that. So
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. We saw them in Germany. That was the last time I saw them, Rose Tattoo.
Yeah.
When we were on new lineup, but they were good.
Okay.
I've got what have I got? I've got a ticket here to see Helmet.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. When's that? That's the 15th of May. So I haven't heard anything yet, but who knows?
Yeah, and it's like
the way it's going, I doubt that that's going to be on. I really do.
Yeah, I don't think it is either, because Punk Rock Bowling, the big music festival that we have in Las Vegas over here in the States, like that's been postponed to sometime in October. And that, I think that's actually like 2-3 weeks after Rose Tattoo is supposed to be playing in LA. So that's why I'm like, I don't think they're going to play, but nobody's announced anything yet. So we shall see.
Yeah. That's Punk Rock Bowling. With the drummer, he's been over, and the guitarist, he's been over to it as well. But that's something we'd love to get onto. But we keep applying, but we haven't had any luck yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I haven't gone to it. Last year was my first year that I didn't go in 15 years.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I started going to it when it was just a bowling tournament.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
They did have some bands playing, but it was usually like an opening ceremony and a closing ceremony, and that was pretty much it. It was not a festival. It was pretty cool because I got to meet a lot of really cool people that are my friends, really good friends to this day, that I met through that tournament.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I've had a look at a lot of the photos. It looks like a very interesting little festival.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's pretty fun.
And there's gigs up and down the strip, isn't there, in different clubs or something? Is that right?
Yeah. So like the main festival is like on this big stage out like in this parking lot out in the open. It's an outdoor festival during the day. And then that usually ends like really early in the evening. And then from there, you go to this street, and it's got a bunch of different nightclubs and stuff like that. And usually about 3 or 4 of those clubs will be having bands playing.
Yeah.
Excuse me, for punk rock, that'll have the club shows. Those are the club shows. And those are pretty cool. It's just sometimes it's like one you want to see these 2 bands, and it's like one band's playing there, at one club, the other band's playing at the same time at the other club. It's like, which one do you go to? First world problems,
Yeah. Remember the days, hey? Rebellions like that. You get you get a booklet with all the times and that, and you got to draw a circle around the ones that you want to see and all that, because there's that many. And sometimes you leave a couple of songs before the end to race off down to someone else and all that, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've kind of done that at Punk Rock Bowling a couple times when you're still able to do that, but now it's not.
Yeah, the old days.
It's gotten too huge. It's gotten huge.
Yeah.
Huge festival.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody wants to listen to your music or purchase any of your music or anything, do you guys have a website?
You can just find us on Facebook, Russ Punk. Have a look on there, and then look, you're talking to the wrong bloke about all that other stuff. Like, I know it's out there. I know you can buy it online and that, but
let me see. I think
we've got vinyl through Randale in Germany and Rebel Sound in America.
Okay.
We've got an album out, stuff like that. There's a bit around.
Okay. I'm just checking your Facebook page because sometimes there's links on I don't think yours has sometimes there's a link to a web page or something like that, but yeah, Randall Records, and familiar with them. And I think you have an album up on Bandcamp too, if anyone.
Yeah, I think you can get it on Bandcamp. That's the one that was on I couldn't think of. Yeah, Bandcamp. Yeah.
So is there anything else that you want to add that we didn't cover, or?
No, not really. It's just interesting times, and I wish I had a little bit more for you to, in the Russ camp to tell you, but we've got nothing.
You know what? Everybody's got nothing right now, but you know what? Like I said, we had plenty to talk about, so, you know, I mean, it's like, we covered a lot of different things. And I think, like I said, there's just a lot of people out there that are around the world that are sitting there doing nothing. And it's like, we can't go see bands like yours live. They're, they stop the music. So like, why not like reach out to you guys and talk, or something.
Yeah, no, it's been good. It's been good.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for doing this. Maybe we can do this again in the future in person if you come here or I go there or I go somewhere where you see. I do travel to see shows. I travel a lot. Most of my travel plans are around festivals.
Yeah. No, I think this year we'll just sit like we've been asked this week, are we going back to the UK next year? And I just said I can't answer that until we're going to sit this year out, just see what plays out. And when we can all get back together, we'll get the band back together in the room. It's amazing how quick we pick up from where we left off, and it might just create a little bit more fire and a bit more energy. We're all going to have some stuff to get out after being locked down. They're talking out here at the moment. They're saying at least till the end of June.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, at least. So who knows? Who knows? We're just doing it a day at a time at the moment. Every day is changing. Less and less is, like our freedoms have been taken away every day. So play it by ear, and we'll leave it there.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for doing this. And it's like, stay healthy.
You too. And I really appreciate you having us on the show. It's great. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you so much. And thank you everybody out there for taking your time out to listen to us. This is Bruja. I'm checking out. Thank you.